Beautifully done from Smithy. Beautiful done from the Moby and from everybody. As you can see here, it's a British first and third, with the Moby, the German one, being in second, splitting everybody up, and Kenbo, our American driver, down in 7th. 4th is Andy, 5th is Uniclark, that Guitar Dude is 6th, Grandad Stee is 8th, 9th is Bobby Dazzler, Lions Foot Fontaine, and Tuggy Bear 11th. Very, very well done, everybody. I will make a screenshot very quickly. But it will be nevertheless a very, very interesting race, because as we've seen in previous seasons, Smithy is a really, really good driver, but the Moby doesn't let himself go. He doesn't let himself, you know, lose. He never gives up. He is a warrior, just like the rest of the drivers that we've also seen. You know, the usual faces, the Consul, Andy, Uniclark. That Guitar Dude is also a very, very interesting prospect, as we've seen here. Finishing 6th. And Canbo, our American man, back in the middle. We are already here at Oulton Park. It is very, very cloudy, very, very cold as well. We've got 12 seconds left. Andrew's saying good luck, lads, and thanks to Ollie. Gives a big thanks to Ollie, and the Consul says an absolute fact. And that was the race director here. We are now racing at Oulton Park in the UK. 5 lights, and away we go! Here in Oulton Park. And that is already a beautiful thing through the outside there in the middle. Can't really see who that is, but the Moby, as we said here, the German, is really not wanting to give up. And that's a beautiful thing here. Oh, there we go. Now you have a better view of everybody else here, of the top 5 at the moment. Beautifully racing side to side. And it is the Moby, however, the German, that is now in front. And there's gone somebody very, very wide. I think that it was Tuggy Bear or Lion's Foot, either one. As you can see here, the Moby is not willing to give up. Very, very late braking from him. And that is Smithy, who's also not willing to give up. We see here the top 4 very, very close between each other. Oh, through that chicane beautifully, and that has almost gone very, very wide and very terribly from the Moby. But he saves himself, very nice. And somebody's there through the outside. I think that is the Consul, who is trying to take 3rd position from Uniclark, almost leaves him no space, but Uniclark fights back, and that could have been very dangerous indeed, but beautifully racing, beautifully done from both drivers. A bit cheeky from the Consul, but nevertheless very, very, very beautiful to be done. However, that move penalized him in forms of positions, as Uniclark got in front of him, and he's got very, very wide on the gravel, and he's crashed out against that guitar guy and Kenbo. Gone through the middle of that. That guitar guy must be fuming right now. Being taken out in lap 1. The Moby here right now, still out in front. Our German driver here, still out in front. Welcome everybody on the 15. All the 50 people watching here live on Oulton Park in RubbingsRacing with your host Sebastian. Oh, very, very beautifully done, very wide, but very beautifully nevertheless from Smithy. And that's Bob, who has a problem, who has a penalty already. But it's very, very tight here in the mid of all of it. Uniclark in the meantime in his own thing. Smithy as well, and Andy as well. But Smithy is still not willing to give up. Smithy is still trying to show himself. Trying to force a mistake for the Moby. And we will have to see how that's going to work out. It's already lap 2. And only 0.3 of a second separate the drivers. As we can see here right now at the back as well, there is here something with the chicanes. I think it's from, if I'm not mistaken, from 5th to around 9th. Where the drivers are very, very close. And still not wanting to give up, especially 8th and 9th. We're very, very close. I think that is Lion's Foot and the console. I think the console who crashed out earlier in the race in lap 1. And as you can see, Ukbar is saying, go for it, lads. Wishing you all the best of luck. And that is again still the Moby, the German driver, the green car, still showing his dominance. But Smithy's still not wanting to give up. Smithy is... Someone has a slowdown, or they will get a penalty. I did not really catch who it was. And there's Tuggy Bear. Tuggy Bear, yeah, Tuggy Bear is getting what seems to be, I think, lapped already. Very, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate for Tuggy Bear. Nevertheless, we are here still racing here, still the Moby. Getting a bit scared, it seems like, from Smithy and trying to avoid. But he is, however, winning from in terms of pace. Not by a huge margin though. And here we have a beautiful battle between what seems to be who is that? Grandad and Kenbo. Grandad is trying to show himself to what appears to be you know, his teammate by the looks of it, by having the same cars. Someone here has got to slow down. And in the meantime, we are still here. Look at that. Look at Grandad, really not willing to give up. Trying to... The Moby has a 1 second penalty for what we do know. And in the meantime, he's also lost his position to Smithy. But let's go back to Grandad. Let's have a look what's happening here. Let's see if... Oh, and Grandad goes very wide. Grandad goes on the grass. He goes very wide. And... Lecky is going for a pit stop already for the damage, as he previously mentioned. And that's Grandad, who is still trying to battle himself in front of his American peer. Kenbo, our boy from Pennsylvania, really not trying to give up, trying to hold on, trying to maintain on that 5th position, the host of the Dash for the Cash event, who is now racing in touring car, which, you know, is, I wouldn't say harder, but it's a whole different experience. If you have not seen that... Oh, and there's somebody out in the back. Who is that? That is Bobby Dazzler, who went wide, and that lost him a position. However, he defended that position from Lion's Foot. I'm not really 100% sure. Yeah, he let it go. Very, very nice, very honest racing here. Very beautifully done from both drivers. And hats off to Bobby. In the meantime, the Moby still is looking to come back from whatever happened. But he is under a caution. So he let him pass, he had a slowdown, he let Smithy pass, but he still got that 1 second penalty. That's very unfortunate. There are already a couple of drivers that have penalties. I'll have a look later on at what these penalties may be and if they are going to be game changing. But the Moby, even though he has that 1 second penalty, he's really not... He doesn't care. He is still trying to make sure that he's ahead of Smithy. That's all he wants at this point. He's not demotivated by that penalty whatsoever. In fact, knowing him, it motivates him even more. It makes him strive even more. It makes him become more of a battler, more of a warrior than he usually is. And in the meantime, Andy with a loose bumper, trying to maintain that position from Ken. And there was a change of position right there. Grandad and Bob. Something happened with Grandad, I think. But Andy really trying to, ooh, Andy locking up a little bit, but really trying to stay defensive onto that position. But Canbo is looking a little bit to the right, Is he going to do it? Is he going to make the move? No, he waits out, he sits out, he looks, he just wants to have Andy notice him. Just look a little bit, showing Andy, you see, I'm here, and there's nothing you can do about that at that point. Trying to make Andy nervous, but is Andy the type of guy that cracks under pressure? I do not think so. But I've been proven wrong before in this league, and I may be proven wrong again here. And he lets that outside go, and that's 4th position for Ken. Well, I've spoken too soon before, and I've spoken too soon again here at RubbingsRacing. But is he going to take that position back? I think Andy is just playing the waiting game at this point. In the meantime, we're also looking at here for 6th and 7th. As you can see here, Grandad and the console, who both have penalties. Let's have a look at what these penalties are. The console has a 2-second penalty, Grandad has a 4-second penalty, and so does, I think, Bobby Dazzler. But the console has gone wide, and that gave Grandad the opportunity to get in front of him. He needs to get that 2 seconds though, if he wants to maintain 6. And the console going wide again behind him. In the meantime, let's have a look here again at what can. Oh no, let's look at oh, that's beautifully done by the Moby. We unfortunately just about missed it, but very beautifully done from nevertheless from both drivers here. The Moby needs to get another second, however, in front of Smithy. And you are watching here right now at RubbingsRacing, a beautiful race here in Oulton Park. If you've not done so yet, please make sure you subscribe and get the notification bell on so you know every time when we're live. However, Smithy here in the meantime, Smithy losing quite a lot of pace. Does he have? Yeah, the Moby has a 4-second penalty. He doesn't have a 1-second penalty anymore. He has a 4-second penalty. So that brings up the question, however, is Smithy just playing the waiting game, just thinking, I will win nevertheless, I will win regardless from you, the Moby? Or is he still trying to fight, trying to make the risky move and trying to stay first for bragging rights on Oulton Park on the grid? Unfortunately, only time will tell, but it will look like he's really wanting to go for those bragging rights. He's really waiting to get in front of him in the grid, and not only because of the time penalties. And that is the Moby going a bit wide and Smithy going a bit on the edge of there, but nevertheless very beautifully done from both parties. And that is the Smithy who's on the outside, and that's very, very close, and the Moby now needs to really be worried. And beautifully done. Will it be done? It's not done yet. It's not over just yet. It's lap 8, and the Moby is still in front of him in the grid, but he needs to get another 4 seconds in order for that to actually count something, and in order for that actually means something. In the meantime, Andy, I think it just says here in the info feed that Andy has made a pit stop, but I'm sure that's a couple of laps back. He's got damage, he says, which is not convenient for either one. Nor for his pit stop, neither for him. For his whole team, that's not convenient. But will he be able to gain from that anyway? Because Andy is one of the ones that does not have a penalty yet. He does have damage, but not a penalty. So everything can change after the finish flag has been created, which is still a couple of minutes away. Let's not forget. But it is here all about the ride, not the destination. And that's the Moby beautifully defending from Smithy, but Smithy really not willing to give up, and that's him on the inside. And that's him on the right side of the Moby, and he takes it. Our fellow Brit takes it, and that's the Moby back here on the left, on the outside, who tries to take again on the start finish line. It's an incredible race here between the first and the second. If it just weren't for those 4 seconds in penalties. However, unfortunately, that is part of the sport, that is part of what makes sporting and racing so interesting. We're going to stay and have a look at these two, because these two have a very, very interesting battle here, as previously mentioned. But it is the Moby who's really not willing to give up. I wonder what is going through the Moby's head right now. He does have another caution once again. He needs to go slow apparently, if he doesn't want to have that 4-second penalty into something else, maybe a 6 penalty, or even worse, a black flag, which would allow Uni and Kenbo into the podium positions. Let's hope that that doesn't come the case. In the meantime, while everything is kind of calming down, let's have a little look at the timing table right now. We see here the Moby has a 4-second penalty, Andy with a 2-second penalty, that Guitar Dude and Bobby Dazzler, who are both in 8th and 9th battling, also with 4-second penalty, and Lecky at the bottom of the pile with a 26-second penalty, unfortunately. Very, very, very unfortunate for Lecky over there. Usually not the type of race that you see. Tuggy Bear says that his car wasn't drivable, it was safer to retire. Well, better to be safe than sorry, Tuggy. So hopefully we'll see you in the next race. And the console as well with the caution. In the meantime, the Moby trying to make sure he can make a move on the inside. But Smithy braking very late and braking very beautifully. Let's have a look here as well at the console. And Andy just gives him the position. Fair enough. Damage. Damage, damage, yep. That is very, very horrible for Andy though, with damage. I suppose that he's taken his pit stop then already if he has damage. And is not willing to make a new one because of time limits. Here the Moby again battling. It is the last lap of the race here, and the Moby still not willing to give up. He's not. I mean, whether or not he's going to be in first, he's going to be second because of that 4-second penalty. But this is all about bragging rights right now. Who's going to be in first on the grid? Well, on the finish line, as I say. And it will be our Brit Smithy with the Moby just behind him with that 4-second penalty. However, congratulations Smithy. Let's have a look at Uni Clark here, who's going to finish third. About 10 seconds away from the pack. Kenbo, our American driver, 13. The Consul on 5th. Andy with his damage on... Very, very, very unfortunate and very upset, of course, and rightfully so. The Consul, that Guitar Dude on 7, Bobby on 8th, and Grandad on 9th, Lionsfoot on 10th, who still needs to finish, and Lecky on 11th. But very fortunate and very, very good for Andy. And I'm sure that Oliver Marseille is going to be very, very happy about that. Smithy on 2nd, Uni Clark, it's a British 1, 2, 3. Then that Guitar Dude, our Spaniard, on 4th. The Moby on 5th. And Kenbo, our American, on 8th. We are here ready now at the final race here in Oulton Park. Our feature race. And I cannot wait to have a good look at what's happening here. Many people are going to do their final switches. As we all know, it's going to have a mandatory pit stop, so people might want to look into that. Might want to look at the fuel load, might want to look at the tire structure. And as we've seen before, the weather is not 100% dry, at least not in qualifying. Maybe that will work out. It will repeat, history will repeat itself, is what I'm trying to say, in the main race. As Andy is still looking confident in that car, that yellow-black Renault, I assume. Everybody's looking ready here at Oulton Park, here at RubbingsRacing. Let's see what people are up to. I assume that people more or less have their their setups finished. But it takes one mess up and one bad first corner, as we can see here, that is pretty tight, right? To ruin it all and need to change everything that they've planned beforehand. Which I mean including the mandatory pit stop, 50-second warning from the race directors. Alright, well, we are starting right now in Oulton Park. It is free lights. And away we go here in Oulton Park, the second race, the feature race here in RubbingsRacing and Project Cars 2. In the UK, Andy with a beautiful start, but Uniclark as well. But Andy needs to defend quite a lot because Uniclark here is looking on his outside. And we have this problem again. Unfortunately, we'll have a look here right now. The Mobi, usually I do not like this camera, but that's what's going to happen unfortunately right now in RubbingsRacing. And somebody went very, very wide. Who was that? That looked like it was Bob. Bob and Tuggy, and Smithy is down. And behind Smithy there's a big battle going on, and in front of Smithy as well, as Uniclark and a Mobi, well, as Uniclark and Andy are not willing to give up that position. But as we can see here, it is that guitar guy who really needs to be careful, our Spaniard. And that is the sponsor board in the middle of the track. If that's not only mine, yeah, it's still only my screen, unfortunately. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for that. Most people obviously on the slick tires in the meantime, and that Spaniard, that guitar guy, our Spaniard, sorry, my apologies, needs to be really careful. As we see Smithy try to make a move. Is he going to play the waiting game? He is really on that slipstream. And we can see there free wide between the console, Grandad and Ken. And we see here as well Smithy and that guitar dude. Oh, there, somebody's got very wide. I think that is the console who went very wide. That is very unfortunate. That is the battle done for him. As you can see, he's still here. That guitar guy still trying to make a move for the Mobi. It is a European battle here between that guitar guy and the Mobi right now. However, Smithy is wanting a piece of that as well. Sorry, it is that guitar guy and Smithy. Sorry, my apologies, not the Mobi. The Mobi is doing his own thing. My apologies for that little mess up. And they're now through the first chicane, and we see here Smithy. Let's have a look here at what Kenbo is able to see. Kenbo is in the meantime in front of Smithy. Kenbo is past Smithy, and I think something happened with Smithy's car, I think, because he's going a bit slow right now. And is Grandad going to take advantage from that? I had to slow down, sorry. I didn't hear that at the moment for a second. Hi Maria Artero, welcome to the stream here at RubbingsRacing in Oulton Park. We're here on our second race and somebody went off. Grandad went off. Oh, and that's quite dangerous of a rejoin. He didn't see Lionsfoot over there. And Lionsfoot, who's being attacked right now by the console. They're too wide here, down for what looks to be 7. Will the console take it? Will he not? And through the inside, beautifully done from the console. But is it over? No, it is not, because Grandad is willing to go back on the action. Let's have a look in the meantime. We see here Ken as well. Let's keep a lookout for both of them. As you can see here, Grandad still also not willing to give up, but we see here as well again. Once again, Kenbo is being attacked by Smithy. Smithy is not willing to give up. Our American is just giving up the position at the moment. It's going through the inside. He's taking the slipstream, however, from that guitar guy, but it's not enough. And Lecky in the meantime with a penalty. And Kenbo and Smithy really battling here for what seems to be, I think, 5th. Beautiful battle here at the moment. Have a look here, Smithy and Ken. Smithy and Ken, sorry. But also that guitar guy is still not gone and is still not in the clear. Oh, beautifully defended, but he's gone wide. It allowed Smithy to go very, very wide. Has he left Smithy no space? Fair enough. Very well done, however. In the meantime, we're also looking at Lionsfoot, who is trying to go for the attack for Grandad. And a Moby here as well, trying to go in front of Uniclark. Here, trying to make sure that he can get the second position. He doesn't want to be the last on the podium. And Mario Arturo asks for the timetable in the moment in the chat. If you're asking for this timetable, Mary, we are on the last race. This is the feature race in the moment for the touring car. However, you can give us your Discord name and we'll be back with you. Give us your Discord name in chat, and our mods will be right with you after this race. And that is still that guitar guy who's still being attacked by the American. Kenbo, who is really doing something here in this race, really trying to show that he can not only defend well but also can attack incredibly hard, something which we've seen a lot of improvement from him in comparison to last season. Last season he kind of let himself go a little bit, trying to, you know, defend his positions but really not try to make up any positions. But this season he's doing incredible, and that is not only Lecky but also Lionsfoot with a penalty at the moment. Down in 10th and in 9th, if you look at standings. And that's still beautifully defended. And in the meantime, we're looking at the Moby and Uniclark. The Uniclark are worth a penalty. But is the Moby still willing to get in front, trying to get those bragging rights for second position? You also have to take into account, ladies and gentlemen, that it's a 15 lap race and people still need to do a mandatory pit stop, most of them at least. And that is a 2-second penalty for Uniclark. So if the outcome were right now, the Moby would still be second. As we can see as well, a beautiful attack on third, second and third, and fourth and fifth are both very, very close. I wish they had a split screen feature in this race, and in the meantime Smithy is in the pit stop. He's one of the first people to be in the pit stop right now. I see Uniclark trying to survive, trying to hang on to that second position right now. He's really not letting the Moby have it. I think the Moby is here with a caution. Uniclark needs to make sure that he can stay in front. So does our Spaniard, the guitar guy, that guitar guy. As we can see here, beautifully done by the chicane, on that chicane here. And they're being very, very close to Andy, who's apparently lost a lot of time, unfortunately, all of a sudden. Will it be a free wide trying to get to first? Trying to get to the first, trying to be on the top of everybody. As we look at this, I think in the meantime as well, that guitar guy is still trying to survive, trying to hang on to just below the podium position. But I think now Ken is able to do it. Now our American is able to do it. He's feeling confident enough. He's feeling confident enough. Is he going through the inside? No, he isn't. He's trying to go through the outside. But that guitar guy is also defending through the outside. However, he's still on the right, and that guitar guy is in the pits right now. Oh, that was a big push. That was a push from the Moby onto Uniclark. And that guitar guy right now with a penalty. I assume he sped in the pit. And a lot of people having penalties at the moment. That guitar guy, Lecky, Linesfoot, and Tuggy Bear, all having, and Uniclark as well. Sorry, all having penalties. 5 out of 12. However, the battle is still there. And we see here as well a battle between 6th and 7th. Which is quite close, but not close enough yet. Not as close as 2nd and 3rd. Uniclark with that time penalty, still not willing to give the Moby what he wants. And that is, I think, Kenbo, who made a mistake, went very wide. But he saved himself last second. However, the console is going to take advantage of that. Of that tiny, tiny error. As we know in motorsports, the tiniest of errors can have the biggest problems. It can have the biggest of consequences, ladies and gentlemen. Only about 0.2 of a second left, and it's starting to rain, and everybody who went in the pits needs to go into the pits again if it's raining too bad. Smithy really not liking that. Smithy being very, very angry about what is happening right now with the track conditions at the moment. But it could be that it's gonna be of course Ken and the console, who I think have not pitted yet and who are just under, are taking advantage of that, or are going to go in what I assume are wet tires. And there's a bit of a second at the moment, and Uniclark having a little look. Is it gonna be enough though? Sorry, the Moby having a little look. Kenbo, Lecky, and the console, all three in the pits. How are Andy, Uniclark, and the Moby gonna do it? Kenbo not happy with whatever happened there. Oh, and Uniclark spun! Uniclark spun and is back on track, but it costs him second place. And now our German is going for the lead, trying to go for the lead at least. Now Andy is the one in trouble. And Andy is allowing the Moby, our German man, to be back into first position, and that must frustrate his fans such as Oliver Mercier. Tuggy and Lionsfoot in the meantime also back into the pit stop. And that is Andy Foot, did I just say Andy Foot? Jesus. That is Andy who went really, really wide. I mixed two drivers up there, but, you know, never mind. And he's gone wide again. What is going on? And Uniclark is having the same problem. Or did he have to stop because he didn't want to crash into Andy? The Moby, however, taking advantage and getting in the pits. Now it's seeing who's going to react. Is it going to be Uni? Is it going to be Andy? It's going to be both. Both are reacting, and both are going in the pits as well. Leaving them no choice but letting Andy through if there are no pit stop errors. See, yeah, as we previously thought, that is that guitar dude with a 10-second penalty because of spinning in the pit lane, which makes his chances of winning slim to none. But he's not the only one with penalties, as we can see here right now. The Moby is back outside of the pits, but in the meantime we're looking at the penalties. 2 seconds for Uniclark, 10 seconds right now. Ooh, we're gonna have a look a little bit here because that guitar guy just went through in front of everybody. Smithy has gone wide. Smithy with issues. He thought he could have gone in front of the console and the Moby, but alas, he made a mistake that cost him so much time and so many positions, and he's spinning out once again. If he's not on wets yet, yeah, he's on slicks, he's willing to risk it. He gives Uni a pass. However, his tires are very, very, very cold, as we can see here right now on the sheets. Andy as well, allowing everybody to go past, hoping that they have to take another pit stop. He's really risking it here, but is it going to pay off? Unfortunately, it is only time that will tell, and it is only time that will, without being any personal, but without going personal, that will tell us the difference between what is a genius and what is unfortunately a fool here at RubbingsRacing. As we can see here right now, RubbingsRacing, we see here the console, who is still trying to defend himself from our German. Anyway, we see here again the Moby still trying to get in front. I assume all of them have wets on, even though on my screen it still says slicks that all of them are on, but I assume that's unreliable information. And we see here Linesfoot, and who is that, Grandad? Yeah, that is Grandad behind him, who are trying to battle here for 7th position. In the meantime, Smithy is back in the pits. I think if it was Smithy just now with risking it, I think he realizes his strategy hasn't paid off, because it's already lap 10 out of 15. I think he's just accepting that at the end of the day it's going to be rain, and that's how the race is going to end. As we see here as well, Uniclark and Andy, who are still trying to battle for 4th position. But Clark is a bit too far, and it's such a shame. Andy having such a great start and having such a great quali, all to have just missed it just through a couple of errors in the lap where it started raining when he was on slicks. It is such a shame, but as I always say here at RubbingsRacing, it is not over until it's over, which means that anything can still happen here at Oulton Park. Thank you all for the 10 people watching here right now at RubbingsRacing Oulton Park. If you haven't done so, I don't know why you haven't done so, but if you haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing and click on that notification bell to know whenever we are live. And if you want to race with us, make no more mistake, just click on that description. Jeff just said just finished Clio's. How's it going? Well, the Clios are going very, very well. As you can see now, it's really racing. And Andy against the wall once again. He's having a really... Oh, and he's crashed against somebody else. He's crashed against Lionsfoot after resetting on track. Andy, sorry, that wasn't who I thought it was. I think that was Lecky. Yeah, it was Lecky, who is one lap down. But nevertheless, he is very, very frustrated about that reset on track. Calls it despicable, and I'm sure they will have a lot to talk about after this. Because Lecky needs to make sure that he's... I don't know what that just said, but I think that was from Tuggy Bear just now. We'll have a look at what that is. Lecky needs to make sure that he's in front of Granddad, and that is what Andy kind of messed up. But he's going wide anyway, trying to take that whole position. Is there anything with blue flags, however, in this race? I'm not really sure. But if so, then Lecky needs to give the position back to Andy. I'm sure that he's not happy about that decision, however. And here we see the console. The console here now in second. That guitar guy is... Our Spaniard is, however, in first. However, he needs to escape with a 10-second penalty. And we'll see how that's going to lead him. For now, that will bring him, however, in a comfortable second. But anything can change here at RubbingsRacing. Smithy needs to be able to get a position. I think it was Tuggy. As you can see, well, no, because of the milliseconds, mate. 10 seconds, and now it's 10.5 seconds difference, so you're just gonna be, the movie is just gonna be below. Yes, but that's 8, oh yeah, crap, oh, sorry, oh, I'm going mental. It's been a long day for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, I need to stop bickering, just move on with commentating. Yeah, as Tuggy Bear said so gently, he is going to end up third, not second, but he is willing to do everything he can. Sorry, Smithy. But he is willing to go as fast as he can, just to make sure that he can get those 10 seconds. The pressure is on for both that guitar guy and the Moby, who's trying to in time terms defend his position and stay well and be able to become second. As we see, it's still very, very wet. However, it is only medium cloudy. And it is lap 13 out of 15. And everybody's a little bit spread out at the moment. No very big battles going on, except what I can assume it would be the Mobies and Uniclarks, who are now on that chicane. The Moby with quite some damage on his Clio. Well, with his Renault then, in essence. As you can see here, he has a lot of damage. It even looks like he kind of went over once, but that might just be our screens, ladies and gentlemen. Gotcha. That's the. No, it's good to it's good to have the corrections once in a while. I appreciate it, however, Smithy, for helping me out with it. As you can see here, Leggy, the Moby is going very well. He's not going particularly slow, but he is losing that second position, and he might actually even lose it. He might actually even lose third by Uniclark, who as we see right now at that roof. And it's Uniclark who's willing to take the inside, but he's going on the outside. He has to go on the outside on that hairpin. And as we know, the Moby is not the one for early breaks. Beautifully defended though from the German. But it is scary enough for him, however, because Uniclark just showed him kind of, say, I'm here, make no mistake, because any little mistake will cost him that third place, will cost him that last position on the podium. And as we see here as well, Bobby and Lucky in the meantime as well for 9th and 10th. But a lot of them have penalties as we see here right now. It is lap 14, the penultimate lap. And the console in the meantime with a 1 second penalty as well, but it will do not a lot of weird things in the standings. But the Moby, Uniclark still willing to attack the Moby. And here we see Uniclark. Still trying to show himself in the first lap. And now the console is also even in dangerous territory, because if he doesn't finish with under 9 seconds, then he has a problem. Beautifully done as well from Uniclark after he got in front of that podium position. However, we are now looking at that guitar guy just to see a little bit where he is going to finish. But now we're seeing him back again. We're going back again, Uniclark and the Moby. Uniclark, however, with a penalty. Uniclark with a 2 second penalty. But it is once again all about bragging rights here. And we're going to have a look here at that guitar guy who is willing to be first. He's 8 seconds in front of the console, meaning that he only needs to make sure that he's 1 second ahead. No, because the console has a 3 second penalty all of a sudden. That means that the console, that guitar guy can be first after all, even though he has that 1 second penalty. This is incredible scenes, ladies and gentlemen. Is the Moby willing to also let go? But in the meantime, it is that guitar guy, the Spaniard, el Español, que ha ganado in Britain. He won in Oulton Park. Viva the guitar guy, viva España, y viva los españoles. Very, very, very good, very well done. And then we see also here back at the console here, with the second place and the Moby at third, with Uniclark at fourth. Beautifully done. Well done to all of us. Beautifully done for everybody. Congratulations to that guitar guy. Congratulations. Congratulations to the console. really, really well done to everybody. Well, if he... That guitar guy, can we at least come up with, can we at least say Gibraltar? At least that's like a middle. Ah, crap. It's been a long event. It's been a long stream. However, to everybody watching, I thank you all for watching this this touring car episode here right now on Project Cars here on RubbingsRacing. That guitar dude, our Gibraltarian, as first, the Console second, the Moby on third, Uniclark fourth, Andy is on fifth after having a great start, Lionsfoot on sixth, Tuggy on seventh, Smithy 8th, Bob on 9th, and Lecky on 10th. We're going to look a little bit lower here as well. Kenbo, our American, here on 11, and Grandad as last place, who unfortunately retired in the last race. Great fellas, says Ken. I couldn't agree anymore. However, this was RubbingsRacing, this was Oulton Park, this was the Touring Car Division, and I thank you all for watching. My name was Sebastian, and I was your host for tonight, and I wish you all a great evening. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.